Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Let's play a game. I have a new one to challenge you with. And this is what it is. Have you ever listened to a piece of music? It's an abstract piece of music, a symphony, a concerto, a piano sonata, whatever it is. And the music strikes you so strongly that it conjures up images in your mind. And those images have nothing to do with the normal, well, if it's in a minor key, it's sad, or if it's in a major key, it's happy. It's, a human emotion of some kind. It isn't. It's a thing. But there's no way to objectify it in the sense that the composer never intended that it should be a storm or a nature scene or, all the things that music illustrates. I think when we hear something that's very captivating, or at least this is what happens to me, that's so arresting and interesting, but it doesn't relate to the normal standard emotional states, we automatically start creating images in our heads. And some of those images can relate to just normal quotidian things in our lives, or things that we've imagined, or stories we've read, or things we've seen, things we've tasted or smelled or touched. We can have kinesthesia and mix up all of our senses. I don't know, but that just happens to me. And I wanted to present, and get your suggestions too for others, I wanted to present some pieces of music that sound extraordinary and that have just created very, very strong images in my head. And I'm going to tell you what my image is. And when you listen to it, I want to know what your image is. If anything, if it's nothing, then it's nothing. But if it's something, I'm really curious as to what you think. And if you have a piece of music that does similarly, I'd like to know what it is, because maybe I'll have a chance to play it and we can get everybody else's concept of what it may be. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, because there's so much music out there which is just indescribable, as in normal emotional terms, but it's still marvelous and incredibly colorful and vivid and impactful. And it has that feeling, and you get it in your head and you can't forget it, and you think, oh God, what is that? And so what was the composer thinking? And we know composers think about all kinds of things when they're composing that we never hear about. And remember what Mendelssohn said, that when he hears a piece of music, the ideas that it expresses are too specific. They're more specific than words. He found music a more congenial medium of communication than mere verbal discourse. So we're going to see just how congenial a medium of communication it can be. And I am starting with, we're going to do this like Debussy's Preludes. We're going to play the music first, then I'm going to tell you what it sounds like to me, and you can tell me what it sounds like to you, and we'll see where we wind up. So here is the trio of the scherzo, the third movement from Malcolm Arnold's Fifth Symphony. The first time I heard this piece, it blew me away, and this passage in particular, I had no clue what he was getting at, but I had a very strong image as to what it meant to me. Here's the music. That was Andrew Penny with the National Symphony Orchestra of Ireland on Naxos in the Central Trio section of Malcolm Arnold's Symphony No. 5. Great, great piece, by the way. You should hear the whole symphony, and especially because it's in cyclical form. And that particular passage represents the main idea of the symphony, which is the oscillating chords and the underlying strings. But never mind that. Forget the formal issue. The real question is, what did that music say to you? What it says to me is this: shopping. Shopping in a crowded department store during the holiday season with all kinds of commotion, kids running around and noises happening and people dropping stuff and just a general chaos and hustle and bustle of movement, but in a commercial establishment like Macy's, or if you remember in the old days, the old department stores, there was Mally's and there was Alexander's if you were in the U.S. And I'm sure you will have your local equivalent if you're not in the U.S. Go to Harrods in London or someplace like that. That is hanging out at the mall, maybe, since department stores aren't what they used to be. It could be a mall. But for me, that music says shopping. What does it say to you? And if it doesn't say anything to you, but you have pieces of music that do say things to you, tell me what they are. Let's get a list going, and let's make a new little series. We've done the world's most beautiful melodies. We've done miniature masterpieces, and they're all ongoing. We can still do more of those. But after 20 or so, it starts to get a little tired, I think, and we should start something new. So this is my suggestion. I call it abstract music, concrete images. Let me know what your concrete images are, and keep on listening, folks. Thanks so much for joining me.